kinds of tools. One are about the what. Because when we define, we are searching for what. And that it is we call the categories of predicament. It is the subject we will work today and next class. We consecrate 2 classes to the study of categories. We studied math and logic, and if you study in the future metaphysics, you will come on that also. Because in fact, logic is on the level of thinking, and the metaphysics is on the level of existence, of being. But they feel the same thing. Huh? If I know what is a cat, I have the idea of cat, but that idea it can be on the first level, but I can still see the cat is the subject of, the cat is so I am on the second level. Anyway, both are, the what we study here is applied to a subject. How? On the predicate is applied to a subject, because a definition, in fact, essentially, is to apply a predicate to a subject. For example, you have a dog, and your dog, my dog, and you say my dog is an animal. My dog is a good friend. He never criticizes me. It's the wrong way I think. Etc. My dog is a good hunter. I use it when I go hunting, etc. So how animal apply to dog? How good friend apply to dog? Does animal and does good friend apply to dog in the same manner? The same manner? No. Animal is essential to dog, but to be a good friend can be accidental. It's not the essence. So we study the R, and that we call that predicable. So it is using categories and predicables that we can define. Every definition uses categories or predicament and predicable. So we will spend 2 classes on categories and 2 classes on predicable, because they are essential to arrive to a definition. We cannot define without knowing the category of being and without knowing the way that category applies to the subject. So that is the GPS for the next two weeks. By the way, don't forget, the chapter we are studying are categories, and we have some exercises as we had just before. No, that's not chapter 4. Categorian in Greek means to divide. Okay? So, or we call that also the predicament, the content of the concept. So categories, which are the ultimate classification of material being, in which all material things can be placed. Classification, division, category. In fact, the one who precised that was Aristotle. So he considered all kinds of being and all modes of being, not only being, but the manner we are existing. And he divided that in 9 boxes. In the Middle Age, the philosopher, the logician, added a new box. So we can say we have 10 boxes. And when we want to put order in our concept, we put the concept in many boxes. You know? Well, that is an analogy to understand what is category. That means we have a lot of concepts of reality, but all those concepts are not on the same level. For example, when you speak about eye, and when you speak about the color of your hair, are those concepts on the same level? No. Your eye will continue to exist, I hope. But your hair, they can become gray, or they can become white, or they can also fall, disappear. So so I put the color of my hair in the book, in the box, different from the box of I, you know. So not every concept are on the same level. Not every concept has the same importance also. The color of my hair is less important than they existed on myself, on my eye. But it's the most important to have beautiful hair or to exist. So even if you lose your hair, you continue to exist. The most important, I think. Maybe someone they are very upset because they are losing their hair. It's not God knows how many hair you lost. Okay, so we call that also predicament. In the word predicament, you have the word dicere, or dicere in Latin, to say, dicere. Pray about something. So it is a predicate, something we attribute to a subject. So predicament. And if you go to Merriam-Webster, it is the first meaning Merriam-Webster gave you is that meaning. The division of being. But in the common language, if you say, I have a predicament with Father Michel, then I have a problem. Predicament is a problem, a difficulty. Okay? But forget that meaning and keep the first meaning. Okay? So it is what I can say, or what it can be said, or predicated. Predicate. You have the word predicate. Another word in English to signify predicate. Attribute. Attribute. In fact, when you study grammar, this apple is red. Red is the attribute of apple. You know that in the form of fifth grade. Red is the attribute of. That means I attach to apple the color red. Attribute. To attribute, it is to give to. I attribute, of course, I have many candies. I can say I attribute to 5, and you 6, and you 7. But I do not do that. I want to be just 5, 5, 5, 5. But when I correct examination, I must attribute some A, some B, some B plus. And most never D, I hope. Okay. A predicate is exactly the same meaning as attribute. Be familiar, because the word predicate will come 1,000 times. So a predicate, it is the same as an attribute. Think about the etymology. You know, when you learn a word, go to the etymology. Predicate, dicere, to say, pray about the one who is coming before, the subject. Okay? Continue. Categories or predicament, no? Synonymous, no? Exactly the same meaning. Categories or predicament. I can say 10 categories or 10 predicament. They are the division of existing material beings. Everything in the universe enters the 10 boxes. So we divide all material things in 10 categories, in 10 divisions. And we say, just in the rectangle, the categories of being form the 10 supreme genera. Now, genera is a word coming from genus. The plural of genus in Latin is genera. That means, the genus, you know what is a genus, no? For example, animal, it's a genus for cow, for dog, for cat, for mice. It's a genus, a general concept. For many different other subordinate concepts we call species. We study that next when we study the predicable. No? So then it is a supreme. That means above them there is no more division. They are the division of being, of existing thing. That is the subject we have to study today and the next class. So, in fact, the logical thinker, and you are a logical thinker, will group together the various kind of thing in the universe about which he has ideas or concepts. It is a need for man, for scientists, for even for your mother, for everyone to classify, even for yourself. When your desk is covered with papers, or your room is covered with clothes on the floor, when you were a kid or boys, what your mother said to you? Put order. So what did you do to put order in your room? You classify. You put your shoes together, you put your underwear together, you put your sock together, your sweater together. No? That is logic. In fact, you were using logic. We do that in kindergarten. We have many objects. We say, classify them, sort them by color. So we put together, or by form. So to learn, to prepare the child to use his logic, his reasoning. So when we classify, we put order, we use our logic, our judgment. It is necessary to know. In science, it is necessary to classify. Well, I give you an example. Suppose at the end of the year, the teacher in your Catholic school, you say, next year when you come back, we will make a study of butterfly. So during the summer, collect all the butterfly you can find, any kind of butterfly. And in September, you put that in a special bottle, and you bring that in class. So when you arrive, you have a lot of butterfly. Everyone buy 2, 3, 5, 10 butterfly. What will you do with that? As a scientist, your teacher must teach you how to classify. We can classify through color, through dimension, through species. It's the same. If you bring any kind of insect, so you can have spider, you can have ants, you have to classify. Science is observation of facts, and after that, classification. And when you classify, you can define. If you don't classify, you cannot define. So categories are necessary for definition. In any science, you have to classify. In the army, for example, you have classification. No? There is a general, a colonel, a lieutenant, all the grade, and we classify. And that, even they have number. The second, 2, 3, 4. Knight of Columbus, you have someone, or Knight of Columbus. The Knight of Columbus, they are classified. What is the classification of the Knight of Columbus? Degrees. First degree, second degree. In the more you have degrees, the more you have a pump. Okay. So Jacques Maritain wrote a book about that. Distinguish to unite. If we want to unite, we must first to distinguish. To know things one by one, or category by category. And after that we can. And when we put that together, we can define. A definition, in fact, it is when we take all those concepts together, we have a definition. But before we must know the difference. Okay? I go to the square now, the rectangle. Material beings are divided in 10 categories. Aspect of being, able to be applied, to be predicated. Okay? 10 categories are being of second intention. Here we have to come back on. Probably, did I explain that to you? First intention and second intention? No, at the other class. Okay. Because we have 3 classes. And now we are almost on the same, even in philosophy of man, in logic we are almost on the same thing. Huh? we have concept. Oh, I don't like that, Jack. Concept. Okay. They can be the first level, first intention, or second intention. And that is important to make a distinction between intention and intention. Well, in ethics, the first idea that comes to you when we speak about intention, it is to have a good motivation. For the love of God. That woman in the gospel, she put 2 little pieces of money for the love of God. The others, they put big money, but they play the trumpet. That is intention. Forget that. Forget the ethical dimension. The first meaning of intention is not that. The first meaning is at the level of knowledge. But the word intention, like the word attention, come from tendere in Latin. Like in English, to tend power, to go towards the thinking, you know. So, tension in the direction of. That means when you know something, you are in tension toward the object. If you look at our idea of Guadalupe here, you are in tension to know that picture. You understand now the word intention? That means the way of knowledge. So there is 2 levels of way of knowledge. You have the first level of intention. That means the first level we tend toward the being. That is when we have a concept. For example, when you, in the 3rd grade, the teacher said, my cat is a good mouse hunter. Okay. When you say that, when the teacher wrote that, what do you want? Do you need to know first? What is a cat? What is to be a mouse hunter? So you must know the concept. That is the first level. You must know what is the thing. What is the thing? That is a chalk, that is a pencil, that is a book, that is a dog. That is the first level. You have the first concept. If we study that class, for 2 classes ago, when we studied from abstraction, we know things from the phantasm, we enter that and we appropriate the concept. That is the first level. To know what is the thing. But the teacher says, no, this morning we will learn something new. We will begin to analyze. Grammatical analysis. Yeah, great boy, great girl. And now, you know, what is the verb to be. Yeah, the verb to be. I am well. Okay. Now, what is the cat and what is good? All that. Of course, she would begin by apple and red. It is, that is an attribute. So you repeat that without understanding. You say that is an attribute. This apple is red. Red is attribute. This ice cream is sweet attribute. You use that for years without understanding. I am sure. Attribute after the verb to be and subject before. So we say that the cat is subject, the apple is subject, my brother is subject, etc. When you do that, we are in the second level of intention. Not only you know what is a cat, but you know that the cat is the subject, and you know that the mouse hunter is the predicate. You are at a second level of that is second intention. And when we speak about predicable, we speak about predicament categories. All those things are second level of intention. In fact, logic is the grammar of thinking. Like when you go to school, and your teacher says, you know, there is a rule in English. When we are more than one, we use many, we must put an S at the end. So I have one toy, you have two toys, two toys. You remember that, huh? What you were? Did you observe the grammar, the law of grammar before you study? Yes. As soon as you speak English, you said that. When you said, my mother, I want not only one candy, I want at least 3 candies, because I want to share with my brother and sister. You see candies? But you didn't know the law of grammar. The teacher teaches you. Now you know you have to put an S to the plural. Singular, plural. It is exactly what I am going to do with you in logic. In fact, strictly speaking, since you reason, since you think, you are obeying the law of logic. But now we are discovering the law of logic. We are on the second level of intelligence. You understand now the difference? And the first level is to know what is a thing. The second level is to know how those things are connected. How the predicate is connected with the subject. How the being is divided in 10 boxes. All that is second. It is a reflection of my first knowledge. Not only what is a cat, but only I know that a cat is doing something. He can do something. Okay? But I insist on that, you know why? Because I know by experience, long experience, 52 years of teaching logic, it is a stumbling block. Only the word intention is a stumbling block for many. So I try to explain. You will remark that I insist on certain words, because I know by experience that words are not always cut, understood very well by the student. Okay? So if I repeat, forgive me. Because you must be merciful. 75, 70 times 7 a day. Okay. Okay. I go now to the general treatment of categories. And if we have time, we will begin the specific treatment. Okay. What is a category definition? So the 10 ultimate classification into which material things can be placed. So material things, that means sensible singular. Sensible singular. Material, sensible singular. This cat is a sensible singular. This dog is a sensible singular. But if I speak about a dog is a good friend of man, cat is a good mouse hunter. In general, for any cat in the world, a normal cat, when he sees a mouse, he does not stay quiet. Even if the cat is well fed, he will jump, he will play with it. I saw that in my own eyes. A cat, he was not searching for food because he was fed. A little bit obese. But when he cut, I saw that, it was very interesting. He cut the mouse, and with his two paws, he played with her like ping pong. Yes, the mouse was doing that, he stopped there, doing that, he stopped there. Yeah, fun. And finally, he killed it, and he did not eat it because he preferred to eat it with steak coming from Stop and Shop. But you know, the instinct, you know. So, that is, if I say this cat is a good mouse hunter, I have in the sensible symbol. If I say cat is good, any cat, it is in the abstract and universal. And now I am on the first level of intention. So when I see, I cannot speak about a cat good mouse hunter if I have no experience of a cat hunting a mouse. Okay? But I cannot, you know, when I divide the being, I divide being here. But the being here corresponds to the symbol. For example, if I divide, I say a cat is a good mouse hunter, a cat is an animal, a cat is a carnivore. All those things are universal for every cat. Then why I can say that? Because by experience, I know, through experience, sense experience, in these particular cats, I discover that universal capacity of a cat to hunt a mouse. Okay? So that is, in fact, that corresponds to what we saw recently. From our senses, we arrive to a sensible, impressed species. Remember that? And that sensible species, I can say that to myself, imagine that, become a sensible, expressed species. A species means what? Species? Image. Image. Okay? Representation. And that here, I put one. For example, I saw that cat playing with the mouse. That is one for all. Now I can apply the capacity of a cat to all cat. So I can express that to myself. I see, my cat is not here. He is here. If I can express to you what my cat did, because it is here. Okay? Now, that is the fantasy. You remember that? The fantasy. But that fantasy, now if I abstract, I take off the sensible and the singular, and I have the universal cat. So I have now a concept. I will have a concept. A sense, intelligible expressed species, a concept. But that concept is the first level of intention. Okay? So we take the, in fact, when we look at the beings, we can find in the beings universal reality. For example, in my cat, I can see he is a living being. He is an animal. He is a feline. He is a carnivore. He is a mammal. He is a mouse hunter. He is a good friend. You know. He is very lazy. He is obese, etc. All that, but I can that, you know. I can say that about my cat because not only I have the sense experience, but because I have the concept. In when we speak, we express concept. You see, my cat is a good mouse hunter. My cat is a feline. My cat is a carnivore. So carnivore is not this. It is for everything. So we are on the level of the concept. It is what I want to say here. The 10 basic group of existing things. But in fact, we don't put in the boxes the existing thing. We put in the boxes the concept of existing thing. In your mind, you have 10 boxes, and you put carnivore in one box, good hunter in another box, you know. But to do that, we have to abstract from the reality. So that, in fact, what we think corresponds to what it is. C'est-à-dire the division of being in my mind corresponds to the division of being in the reality. That means if I say my cat is carnivore, is a carnivore, or any cat is a carnivore, that is my mind. I can say that because in the reality, cats are carnivore. You know? I start from experience. So there is a that is important to understand. Logic is here. Science is here. The facts are here. And logic is expressing what is here. So here you have the being, the cat, the dogs, and here you have the idea we have about that. And what we classify in our head is not the concrete thing, it is the concept of those things. So the predicable, the predicament, the category, all those things are second level of intention. But they are second level, but they represent something existing on the first level. Okay? Bon. I will study that in philosophy of movement, study intelligence. So many synonyms. First, 10 ultimate classifications. Another 10 basic groups. The same thing. Or if you want 10 basic boxes, but if you write that in examination, it is not very classical. It's better to say group. But in your mind, by analogy, you think about the boxes as your room. You have a box for your shoes, a box for your socks, a box for your toys, a box for your pencils. The 10 predicaments, 10 categories, 10 divisions of being, 10 basic groups, all that is synonymous. Okay? And those predicaments can be attributed to the subject. We saw that. Can be predicated. So here we have 3 words which are close, but they are not the same meaning. You have the word predicament. You have the word predicable. And you have the word predicated. Predicate. Predicament we saw just before. That is the categories. That means the division of being. The predicable, that is the what. The predicable, we see that next week. It is how a predicament, a category is applied to a subject. And predicate. Both of them can be predicate. What is predicate? Another word? Attribute. Think about the 3rd grade. Attribute. In the 3rd grade, the teacher did not speak about predicate. She spoke about attribute. But predicate has exactly the same meaning. Okay? So the predicament, for example, the color. My cat is black. The color is applied, is predicated. Or the predicable also, and the genus man is a rational animal. Animal is predicated of that. So predicate is the attribute to the subject. In fact, we work all the time between subject and predicate. How a predicate is attribute a subject. That's a predicable. What it is attribute, it is predicable. Both of them, they are predicated. They are predicate, attributed to the subject. I study with you. At the end of the class, you have not to study. You understand everything. No? Okay, repetition is the mother of learning. Okay. Every predicate can be said. Okay, we saw that. Okay, now I think I will study the different kind of predicament from my friend Habakkuk. Habakkuk, did you meet Habakkuk today? Where did you meet Habakkuk? Huh? Where did you meet Habakkuk? This morning you meet Habakkuk. You met Habakkuk. In the first reading at Mass. Habakkuk spoke to you. Because we read the text of Habakkuk this morning, no? No, in the breviary, excuse me, it's the first reading, excuse me. I mixed the Mass and my divine office. Well, in the divine office, the first reading today is Habakkuk. Habakkuk is the son of a rabbi in New York. Habakkuk. But it is very rare we see a Catholic boy called Habakkuk. But some Jew, because it's a Jewish name. So Habakkuk. Habakkuk I don't know exactly. And not a very good, So in fact, he is running, okay? Habakkuk. So he has a kippah here. He has braid, right? Because he is a faithful Orthodox. And he is running. He is running in Central Park. Okay. Habakkuk. Habakkuk. Don't send that to the Metropolitan Museum. Okay. He is 6 feet high. He weighs 180 pounds. What is that? Quantity. He's a kind man. When he meets the people, hello, shalom, shalom. He's handsome. And the girl, he is handsome and also he is rich. So, quality. Quality. He is the son of Rabbi, Rabbi Jacob. Rabbi. And he has 3 sisters. So there is a relation. Okay? Now he is, this morning he studied the Torah, but now he is running in Central Park. You see, he's running. He's running, okay. That is action. But at the same time, it's a beautiful morning with a beautiful sun, you know. He's warm, he's feel well like it was in Holy Land. So he's on passion. He's fascinated by the beauty of Central Park, and sometimes he has some distraction. Instead of contemplating the squirrel, he sees beautiful little girl. But you know, it's not the same. So that is passion. Passion. Okay? And is in Central Park. Central Park is where? And it is, you know, when you run, you don't run like that. So he's leaning, he's bent a little bit. So that is the position. When he is at the synagogue, he sits down. When he is prayer, maybe at his bed, he is kneeling. When he is sleeping, he is like that. That is the position of Habakkuk. You are sitting. I am standing. That is the position of member what with and other. Okay? I continue. It is 7 in the morning, and he has blue jeans, blue jeans or blue pants. He has his kippah, of course, it's important. His kippah. And probably he has a good wallet with a good Visa card. So that is Habakkuk. All those qualities are where? Where they are? They are in Habakkuk. And Habakkuk, when he speaks, what does he say?
Shalom.
Shalom, yes. But yes, when he goes to the bank, when he say, Habakkuk wants money. He say, I. When he is running and his cell phone, his father, the Rabbi Jacob, asked him, what are you doing, my son? He said, Habakkuk is running. No, he said, I am running. I am running. So, what is I?
Subject.
The subject, the substance. What is standing under all those accidents? Substance. And the substance, you are right to say it is also a subject. Huh? In fact, the substance of living person is I. The substance, stare in Latin, to stand, huh? To stay, to stand, under. So that means all those things, huh? The fact is quantity, quality, relation, action, passion, where, when, all that, even this kippa, all that is in the substance. Okay. In 5 years, in 10 years, probably he will have cut his, because he will work on Wall Street now, if they move Wall Street, we know that. He will cut that, huh? And instead of a kippa like that, he will have a beautiful hat, huh? A beautiful hat, you know. Instead of jean, he will have other thing. And you know, he will not be too slim. Now he will have a pumpkin here, huh? He will become not pregnant, but so and little. So is he the same Habakkuk?
Yes.
Yes.
The same Habakkuk. Look at yourself. When you were baby, and your mother said, oh, the most beautiful baby in the world, because every baby is the most beautiful for the mother. And you have a picture of that, huh? And when you are 4 years old, 5 years old, you go to the kindergarten, and you have a picture. I grew. Huh? And now you have the first communion, you know. You have it in white robe, white dress. Huh? Oh, saint, pious boy, pious girl. Huh? They go to communion. Huh? Okay, you have the picture of that. And after that, you grow, you have to high school, huh? And you begin to have a boy beard. Huh? And like Habakkuk, you have long hair. And after that, you see, oh, with a beautiful wife, and you are married. Huh? And after that, are you the same?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Yes, substantially, you are the same. So you can say, when you look at you as a baby, you can say, I. When you are for kindergarten, you can say, I. When you go to first communion picture, you say, I. And you say I for graduation, you say I for your marriage, and you cannot say I for your funeral. Because you are no more there. Because when you die, there is no more substance. There is only accident. Okay. So you understand now? The substance exists in itself. And the accident exists in another, in that substance. The color, the weight, the quantity, the quality are not essential. So the substance properly, it is what is permanent under the change, the substance. Kant, the philosopher Kant, distinguished between what he called the noumen and the phenomenon. The phenomenon, it is what we see. Did you ever see your eye? When you look at yourself in the mirror, do you see your eye? No.
No.
You see the color of your face, the form. When you don't see your eye. But you know something. Something is permanent because every 7 years, according to the scientists, our cells, all our cells are renewed every 7. So for me, it's my 11th body. I'm going now to have a 12th body. So, I am the same. I am the same. Because if I was not the same, suppose a criminal committed a crime 10 years ago, he can say, no, it was the other. No, it is you. And it is that also the foundation of the fact you exist, a memory, keep you continually present under the change. So, substance. In everything, something is permanent, a material reality. That natural. For your cat, when he was little like that, and he is not like that, and when he will be obese, he will not be able, you have to use a wagon to carry your cat. But it is the same cat. The same.
Yeah.
But not the same. The same as substance, but the accident changed. But under it is the same. Okay? So let us abandon the Habakkuk running in the Central Park, and let us continue now with deepening what is substance. You go to the next paragraph. A substance is a thing that can exist in its own right. I told you just before, in itself. We can say also in its own right. In itself. In Latin, they say per se. But I find that very dangerous because per se, it's ambiguous. In itself. The substance is in itself. My eyes in itself. But the accidents are in another. Now, the accidents exist in another. Here you have another example. You have to change the meaning of words. If you speak to your brother, who is in Alabama, you see, today Father Legault taught us about substance and accident. What your brother will think about accident? He will say, did you crash your car? Accident for us is, I broke my leg, I fall on the floor, an accident. Accident is not that. Accident, it is something happen. It is not necessary. Accident means also contingent. Contingent. It is not necessary for Habakkuk to have braid, to have a kippah, to run in Central Park. All that is contingent. All that is accidental. Accident. And that understanding is important because when you study philosophy of God, the many proof of the existence of God are based on that. Things which are not necessary must have a reason to explain their existence. Okay? So accidental. There is a joke, which is a joke. We can have some joke. Two friends, they meet together, and one says, "Hey, Joe, do you love your wife? She is expanding." Because when she married, she was, now she is expanding. "Oh, yes, I love her. Because I have more to love." But in fact, it's not. You laugh. Why do you laugh? Because it is incongruous. We say that a person can be like that or like that. We love the person, we don't love the weight, the quantity. I gave you another example. To the people, sometimes they don't make the difference between accident and substance. I have a member of our community. He is a librarian. He is like Clara Dabou, a librarian. So in our college in Montreal, he was the librarian for the college. And he received a call from a woman, a rich woman. And she said, "Father, can you buy books for me?" I said, "Yes, I can." "What do you need?" "I need to fill 4 shelves. I want book with leather. They are in red, they are in..." She wants book only to decorate her apartment. So the substance, the value of the book has nothing to do here. It is only the appearance. But what is important in the book? Is it the cover?
No.
It is the content. So the substance, we say that, yeah? The substance. Another, to show to you that substance is very important for each of you as a Catholic. Transubstantiation. No? You never heard about that?
Yeah.
I heard that when I studied catechism. I was 6 years old. Transubstantiation. I understood nothing, but I learned. And I received the communion because I accepted that there is transubstantiation. I understood nothing, of course. Transubstantiation. Ask the question to many Christians, transubstantiation. Ask them to explain that. Why they cannot? Because they don't have the idea what is substance and what is accident. But when we say Habakkuk, Habakkuk is I, is the same substance. Huh? He can change, he can become a rabbi, he can be an old rabbi, he can die, etc. It is always Habakkuk. It is always I. I was a boy, altar boy, now I am a seminarian, maybe a day I will be a bishop. I will be the same, not sure. So I, that is the substance. The accident changed, but the substance is the same. In the Holy Eucharist, the substance changes and the accident stays. Of course, it's the mystery of faith, but it is what we can see. And we can understand that only if we know what is substance and accident. The substance is what is under the accident. So by the power of God, the appearance of bread stays, but the substance of bread does not exist no more. It is the Christ. Christ is there. Okay? So substance is in a negative way now. We can say that substance, it is not something in another. We cannot attribute substance to a subject. I cannot say suppose my dog was Noni. I cannot say dog is Noni. I can say only Noni is dog. That means that your substance cannot be attributed to another thing. Your substance, the substance of a thing is unique for that thing. Okay? Except in the mystery of the Holy Eucharist. That is the mystery of faith. Okay, I cannot teach that in philosophy. If I speak about that, because I have my clergyman and my faith, but as a philosopher, Einstein was fascinated by the mystery of transubstantiation. He has no faith, but he was a friend of a priest in New York, an old priest, and the old priest they met many times to discuss about religion. He was fascinated by that. That is very, very special. It is unique in the history of mankind. It's unique case where the substance is changed and the accident stays the same. You know? Okay. Yes.
No, sorry, I'm thinking. Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Go further. Substance are the substantial thing of the world. I mean, substance is a thing having basic existence. The basic existence of everyone is I. Is to be a substance, to be substance, subsistence. And when we study what is a person, it is the intelligent being subsistent. And the substance exists. A substance having existence. Well, that is not for the moment. No? So the substance is permanent. I go now to the accident. The accident, on the contrary, they are contingent. They are changing, change. And in fact, we live in, nobody can say nothing, everything changed. Everything changed. For example, you are here for 1 hour. Did you realize that we traveled together 1,000 kilometers, 1,000 miles? You travel. You are very quiet on your chair, but you traveled 1,000 miles. Because you turn around the world in 24 hours, it is 25,000 kilometers. So at mile. So that means every hour you travel 1,000 miles. No, you are changing considerably. Changing in the space, changing in your own person. You cannot stop your aging. You cannot stop. We are, I would say, as a creature, we are essentially changing. Change is a part of our accident. By nature, accidents are changing. So it is a utopia to fix everything, even in the church, even in the liturgy, even in the dogma. The dogma of the church are changing, not the substance, but the expression of the substance. For example, look at different concils. Since the beginning of the church, the content is the same, the expression is not the same. We have two creeds we see at Mass, huh? No? We have the Mystic and the symbol of apostle, and we can say one another. We have many. Change is a part of reality. Do you change your suit, your dress? Your socks? Change. And if you don't believe that, look at the picture of you 10 years ago. We change. Change, but it is only accidental. What is important? It is the substance, the eye under that. Huh? The eye. Okay? So we have accident. We call accident our secondary aspect of the substance. In fact, that we cannot see the substance. We cannot see the noumen. We see the phenomenon. We see the accident. I see the color of your hair. I see you. I don't. In fact, it's funny. I see you. In fact, I don't see you. You see me. In fact, you don't see me. You see the accidents of my eye. And you see my eye, Michel Legault, through my accident. I give you an example. A few years ago, 2-3 years ago, we have a meeting with my former colleague of teaching and some former student. We have a meeting. And one arrived to me. Did I spoke about that to you? No. Okay. He said, Michel, do you recognize me? No, I said no. He said, you remember René Lahaye? Oh, I know, yes, I recognize you. In fact, I did not recognize him, but I recognize him. Why? Because he changed so much in 45 years, 60, 50 years, I was not able to recognize him. But when he identified his name, I recognize him. In fact, you recognize me, I recognize you through your accidents.
You could say, Father, you recognize the substance, but not the accidents.
I recognize the accidents, not the substance. In fact, it is through your accident that I recognize you. It is the same for you. How do you know you exist? Through your accident, the fact you move, the fact you talk, the fact you grow, the fact you take a place. We don't know directly our existence, the substance, because we cannot touch the substance. We cannot, but the substance is the most important. Okay, so those accidents they are secondary for the substance, but they are very important because I know the substance through the accident. If you apply that to Jesus in the Holy Eucharist, you know Jesus through the accident of bread and wine, the color, the taste. We have, by analogy, I give you an example. Suppose you are blind, but you can recognize me to my voice. You remember in the Bible you have Rachel, she has two sons, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob the mother wanted to give the inheritance to the other. So what she did, she put the vestment of his brother. And the father who was blind, what he touched and he smelled. He said, you have the other of
Jacob.
Israel. So he blessed and gave the inheritance to Jacob. But that, we know through accident. Why? Because accident fall on our sense.
Thanks.
Interesting, no? So we know things through sense experience. We know the substance indirectly through sense experience. We cannot do, and that is the reason why some philosophers, they don't accept the substance because we cannot see that. It's the case of Kant. So Kant, for example, he will arrive to the existence of God, not through metaphysics, but through ethics, because he cannot accept metaphysics. Today, I will say the majority of universities don't teach metaphysics. We are the last of the Mohicans to teach metaphysics. Yes, it's true. Because we cannot measure substance. Can you? I know, for many exists only what we can measure. So if you are in metaphysics, you are outside of measurement. You cannot measure the ultimate causes, therefore that is a waste of time, and we have to do other things. So metaphysics is, or it is taught as a historical aspect of the Middle Age. You know? Those crazy monks in the Middle Age, crazy Thomas Aquinas, they believe that there is a substance. You know? Jung, for example, all those philosophers, empiricists, and they cannot accept substance. And we are in a society which is influenced by Jung, by Locke, by all those, and those people, by Kant, they don't accept, we know the substance. Okay? I continue now. General, here we have after that the GPS of the 10 categories, the GPS. So we have the category substance. And the category substance, if you read attentively, stays for oneness, essence, and nature. I already explained that. Oneness or fluidity, essence, and nature, and substance. I repeat, repetition is mother of learning. Oneness. Oneness, in fact, it is the definition of the thing, or quiddity. To take a word accepted by more people than Sister Spengler. What is the thing? Our definition. That is the level of logic. We saw also essence. Rational animal. Man is a rational animal. Man is a rational animal. But we remember when we speak about essence, it is in relation with existence, being. Here we are in metaphysics. Here we are in religion, in science. We see now that essence is acting, operating. So we have nature. And nature is a principle of activity. Principle of activity. And here we have philosophy of nature and ethics. Ethics. That means I act because I have a special essence. Okay? And now here, what we say? Substance. Substance is stating for oneness, essence, nature, substance. In fact, what we said before about oneness, essence, and nature apply to substance. In fact, substance is the cause of your activity. Explain why I sing, why I study philosophy, why I eat, because it is my I who eat, my substance. And when I do that, I act according to my nature. So substance, nature are different, but the content the same. The content is the same. Okay? Now the accident. The accident we can distinguish intrinsic accident and extrinsic accident. intrinsic. That means they are in the they are in the substance. They cannot be separated from the substance of material thing. And that first accident is quantity. Can you separate? Can you have a material being without quantity? No.
No.
And when you have quantity, that quantity appears to you. Did you see the quantity of someone? Can you see the quantity of an elephant? No. What do you see when you see an elephant? The color, the color. You see the qualities. So the quality and the quantity are intrinsic to the substance. That means the substance, material substance, material, I say material substance, necessarily has quantity, and that quantity is expressed and found on my senses. Therefore, it is quality. Can you see a material substance without color,
No.
except black? Because black is absence of color. So when I see you in black, you are invisible to me. Color are invisible. that is science. No? Science. In fact, black is not a color; it's absence of color. When I said that in Africa, my students were furious against me. Okay, now we have an accident we call relation, and the relation, we see that is partially intrinsic, partially extrinsic. For example, your father, fatherhood, relation, fatherhood. The fatherhood is intrinsically in your father, and extrinsically in you, in your son, or in his daughter, you know. Filiation, where is the filiation? It is in the son. Intrinsically and extrinsically in the father. So a relation is half, I would say, half intrinsically, half extrinsically. A part in the substance and a part outside of the substance. Now you have not extrinsic, but according to action, we have action and passion. Action and passion. Well, we explain that. Mover and move. If the substance is mover or moving, it is action. If the substance is move, it is passion. And finally, we have also extrinsic accident, but considered as measured. And we have three things. We have the place, the quantity of the place, where you have space, place. We call that where. Where you have your material being is where, no? It is anywhere, you know, it's some place. It is the characteristic of quantity to occupy a spatial volume, a spatial space. Okay? When you are here, you are not in the refectory. And when you are in the refectory, you are not here. That is where. And you have the position. You remember our friend Habakkuk, he was leaning. You are sitting. At church, you are praying on your knees. All that is position. And that is also in time. Not only you are in space, but you are in time. Now is almost the time to eat. I know that because your stomach is ticking, tick, 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 tick. And the more the time passes, faster. The acceleration of time for the meal. So that is time. We call it when. And finally, Habakkuk had a kippah. He had blue jeans. Maybe he had a rich wallet. I don't think he had a gun. In New York, not necessary. Maybe in New Mexico. On the ranch, it's useful. Well, he has something. He has shoes. He has Adidas. He has Adidas. So all that is possession. possession is accidentally in the substance. But of course, possession is attached to the substance, not in the same way as the color, as the quantity. Is the reason why, in fact, Aristotle did not consider possession as a predicate, as a predicament, as a category. But we consider that as a category because it is being.
So possession is accident in the substance, Father?
Yes, but very, very, very thin.
Okay.
Very accidental. But for someone it's important. For someone, a policeman, for example, is possession, a gun, and a badge here, sheriff. It's a power, it's something attached to his eye. Yes. Seminarian, he goes on the street. In Cameroon, my seminarian, when they go on the street in Kasik, what happened? All the old women, Father bless me. and the girls, oh, it will be a good husband for me. So I said to my student, don't tell that. Your Kasik is an occasion of sin. So that means, that's interesting, and that means even our suit, our attire, the way we clothe, is also attached to my eye. Express who am I. And you can know who is a person, not only through his virtues, but also through his house, through his car, through his clothes. No? It's interesting. In Cameroon, it was the contrary. I was rector of seminary. They have an attire only on Sunday. On Sunday, they were white and black, like you. But during the week, no. It was very interesting to discover who they were. Those who have money, they are rich. And those who are poor, you see, always the same suit, never change. You express yourself through your way you clothe yourself. You have, no? And that is the secret of money for fashion. Because, if you don't wear today the fashion of 2014, you are very old style. At school, if you don't have the Nike of the year, your father is very poor, No. Possession is more important than we think. Is the reason why we can consider that as accident. And the word in Latin for possession is habit, habitum, habeo. It's interesting. Habit means what I possess.
You hear that, sister?
A religious habit, a Catholic, it is what I possess, is a possession. The word habit means to possess. I hope you possess the habit and not the habit possess you. Now I think your biological clock says now it's time to feed your substance. So next class we study that in detail.